and eat small and find flavor in everything that you do in the kitchen, of course. Hey, I am Michelle Geeson, your hostess today. Thank you so much for joining me on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I am Michelle Geeson, as I said. If you are new to our show, welcome. I hope you enjoy our time together. I always look forward to my Sunday live recipe demonstrations because it's just such a great time for me to show you some amazing recipes that I've tweaked and refined through the years, through my own bariatric journey. And I am just so thrilled to be here today to show you Asian chicken lettuce wraps. You know, before we get started, one thing we all have in common is that we have all had weight loss surgery or we're gearing up to have weight loss surgery. And even if those two thoughts don't fit the bill for you, maybe you're striving for overall health and wellness, maybe you're trying to combat diabetes, whatever the prescription, you are in the right place, because this is where we get to make sure that we don't feel deprived of anything, okay? Food is a huge part of our lives, whether we like it or not. And when we've been on our bariatric journey, we're trying to find ways to eat to live as opposed to living to eat, which was at least my credo way back when. But at any rate, we have to figure out a way to coexist with food. And there's no reason why diabetes or just striving for wellness or weight loss surgery has to be a death sentence. It's our rebirth, okay? This is the best time of our lives, and there's no reason we should have to walk the face of the earth feeling like we should be deprived of something. I absolutely hate this gets me in such a rage when people say, Michelle, can you have that? Or Michelle, how much of that can you have? Can you have this? Can you have that? What will happen if you have that? What does the doctor say? It's like, stop already. Here's the deal. I can have whatever I want to have. I am a grown, mature adult. I have taken charge of my life, and I can choose what I can put in my mouth, okay? Weight loss surgery does have a few little physical barriers, at least for the gastric bypass surgery that I've had, but they are things that I have learned how to deal with. I have broken up with some foods before, but really, I don't go into a grocery store or start a recipe thinking, crud, I can't have that. I find ways to enrich flavor, make things pretty, and that's what I want to show you today and every Sunday, and through our Facebook Live recipe demonstrations, and through Facebook in general. We can have fun with food, okay? We can feel empowered and motivated. It's fun to be in the kitchen. It's fun to be at the grocery store. I go every Sunday morning, and I was there this morning, and I had a ball. I always get my Starbucks, and I just take my time and I walk through and I look at different things. Today my focus was lettuce because of our Asian chicken lettuce wraps today. So I got a whole mouthful of stuff to tell you about that. But it's empowering and inspiring to be able to make a new recipe that I've never made before, or even make the tried and true recipes that my family just loves over and over. It's a great time to be in the kitchen. It's a great adventure at the grocery store. And I hope that you're looking at that too, okay? I've worked hard on my own journey, and I like to think that I have some things that I can bring to the table. I've spent a lot of time trying to make over recipes, trying to find healthy alternatives so that I don't have to feel deprived. And so I have developed bariatrics and tips to not only help myself, but help you as well, okay? And it's worth the time and the effort, because I know I'm worth it, and I know that you're worth it too, okay? So we got a lot of exciting things to show you in the kitchen today. Remember, if you need specific medical guidance or questions about different foods and how it affects you directly, your best advocates are your surgeon and your dietitian. So please rope them in and loop them into your conversation. But if you have any questions or comments about anything that you see here, any kitchen gadgets, any spices, ingredients, methods of what I am doing, certainly feel free to ask, because I am an open book and I am here to help, and I want to use my journey as a way to pay forward, okay? So normally we start off with the Sunday Spotlight. We actually have a new format for the Sunday Spotlight that I want to show you, but the first thing that I'm going to do is start on our ground chicken for our recipe, and as that's cooking, we're going to talk about the Sunday Spotlight. So you are about to go on a field trip. Remember, I'm not a camera person, and I don't play one on TV, okay? I am going to move the camera around so you guys can get up front and personal with me in the kitchen, so you don't have to like squint and see what I'm doing. You're gonna get a front row seat, okay? So before I do the Sunday Spotlight, I want to talk about our Asian chicken lettuce wraps. If you've ever been to P.F. Chang's, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. They're the ones that actually put this item on the menu way back in the day. And they've done a very good job of it. I've been making this recipe for years. I am told that it was very similar to P.F. Chang's. I've had a few family members and friends tell me that. I have never been to P.F. Chang's. I've never had their lettuce wraps. I hear they're crazy amazing. So I'm gonna show you what I do. You are gonna get this recipe posted today. It will be posted at 3 o'clock. And then the rest of the posts on our Facebook page today are going to be revolving around that, and really good tricks and tips for you as well, as usual. Okay, so I'm going to go through the ingredients with you first, and then I am going to start the ground chicken, which is behind me, and that's when you and I are going to take a walk over to the stove, and as I'm cooking the chicken, we'll talk about the Sunday Spotlight. But for now, the ingredients, super easy stuff. As far as the ground chicken goes, you should be able to get this at any grocery store. And I did a little price comparison today, and it does look like Aldi is the best, has the best price, and they actually have a brand name kind of ground chicken. So that was really nice to see. You can get it anywhere. It's about $3 per package. I think it's a 1 pound package. So I like to buy a couple of them, keep them stashed in my freezer. Ground chicken is very versatile. It's great for Asian cooking, but it's also great for so many other things. You can make a chicken burger, you can make chicken spaghetti. It's really, really a great versatile thing. So if you haven't tried ground chicken, I would definitely encourage you to do that. So you're talking olive oil to help with the ground chicken, a pound of ground chicken, a couple cloves of minced garlic, a diced onion, all the stuff I have out right now, a 1/4 cup of hoisin sauce, which is an Asian product made from soybeans, a couple tablespoons of soy sauce, a tablespoon of rice vinegar, some freshly grated ginger, some sriracha or chili paste, and I'm actually equal opportunity space. I have a very hardcore conviction when it comes to adding spice. I'm all about adding flavor, and so if a recipe calls for this or that, I like to use this and that. So for instance, today, it does call for a tablespoon of sriracha or chili paste, and that is optional. So if you don't like the spice, you can disregard this. But I like to use a 1/2 tablespoon of each, and it'll be probably a heaping tablespoon of each, because no one but me is going to be eating this. My husband won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. So I figured I'm going to make it for tonight, and it'll be my lunch over the next couple days. So I can put as much spice as I want into it. Yes, I am the spice girl. Then the recipe actually calls for a can of water chestnuts. I also have a pretty stern conviction on water chestnuts. I hate them. I hate them more than I've hated anything else in the entire world. And I'm probably making your jaw drop, because a lot of people apparently like them. And I'm not one to hate any vegetable, but I hate water chestnuts. So instead of using water chestnuts for this recipe, I have my own little stand-in, and I used diced up mushrooms. And so you'll see that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But for you and the recipe that's posted at 3 o'clock, it definitely has the water chestnuts in there if you like them. I don't judge, to each their own. I think it's great. I just don't like the way they crunch, or I don't know, I think it's a textural thing. At any rate, we'll move on. 2 green onions thinly sliced, and then some salt and pepper to taste, and then butter lettuce. I just learned about butter lettuce today. Here is the package of butter lettuce. I am going to bring it on over, and then when I'm done showing you about the butter lettuce, I'm gonna take you with me, okay? So here's the butter lettuce. I got this locally at my grocery store, which is Meijer here in Western Michigan. It says Butter Crunch. It's actually a very tender lettuce, really, really easy to rip. And so when we are done with our Asian chicken lettuce wraps today, and you attempt to watch me attempt to eat one of these, it's probably not going to be pretty. So I'm just going to let you know right now. But you can use any kind of lettuce you want. The butter lettuce is just, let me show you a piece. Very, very fragile and tender, but it should make a nice, I mean, ideally, I should be able to spoon the chicken mixture into here and then fold it like a taco and then shove it in my big fat mouth. So that's what you're going to see in a few minutes, okay? So, all right, I'm taking you on a field trip. We are going to start cooking the ground chicken. And you're going to cook it just the way you would cook ground beef, ground turkey, yada, yada, okay? So I do have my stove right here for your viewing pleasure. And so I'm starting with a pound of ground chicken, and I do have a tablespoon of olive oil in there. And I'm going to turn it on high heat, and I'm just going to make sure that I break the pieces apart. I have this, hold on, I'm bringing you back up here, okay? Hello. I have this mix and chop contraption that I use. It is a Pampered Chef product. I think there's a lot of places that make them, so if it's something that intrigues you, I'd say feel free to go get your own. This is like the best 10 bucks I've ever spent. It just kind of mushes everything up for you, and I'll show you as I'm making the meat. Actually, why don't I bring you back down here and bring you closer. Remember, I'm not a camera person, and I don't play one on TV. Okay, does that look good, you guys? Okay, so here we go. This mix and chop just really does a really great job of chopping up the ground meat. Usually when I make Asian chicken lettuce wraps and even tacos, I do an extra step, and I actually run the meat through my Cuisinart food processor because I like it to be very, very small. I just think it makes it look better when it's all said and done. It gets everything mixed up really well. So I've got this on my power boil mode, so hopefully it goes fast for you. And so what I'm going to do is, as I mix this, let's just talk about the Sunday Spotlight. There are a few people that I want to recognize today, okay? I want to recognize, first of all, Andy Yee. Andy is a friend of mine from middle and high school. He lives in the suburbs of Detroit, and he had gastric sleeve surgery on August 25th. At his highest weight, he was 320. At his surgery weight, he was 244. And again, that was on August 25th. And yesterday, he sent me a message just to chit-chat and check in. And he is down 36 pounds and is currently 208 pounds. And I'm so proud of him because he's been working so hard and really bouncing back really well from his surgery. And I just wanted to recognize him and give him a shout out that I'm so happy for him that his journey is going so well. So congratulations, Andy. Everybody help me wish him a hearty congratulations. He is well on his way to success. And then the second person I wanted to recognize is another friend of mine, Mary Bauman. I met her several months back. She is a local friend of mine and goes to the same bariatric support group that I do through our provider. And so because of COVID, the support group hasn't met face to face. So we're kind of just cyber friends. But it's one of those things where when you meet someone and you just know that you're kindred spirits, it's like I've known her for forever. And I adore Mary. And Mary has had such a great journey. She just celebrated her 6-month surgery rebirth day. And she had a couple of non-scale victories this week that I just wanted to shout out. I don't have any pictures to show you, and this ground chicken is almost done, so I'll make it quick. But she had her 6-month rebirth day this week, and she had been really frustrated because she'd been losing some hair because of her bariatric surgery. It was really bothering her. So she took the plunge, and she treated herself to a hair redo, and she got almost 8 inches cut off. She got layers, she got some wispy bangs, and she is so happy, and she looks so darn good. Mary, if you think about it, maybe you can post your hair picture on our Bariatrics and Tips. And then in that same respect, Andy, if you wanted to post a picture, we would love to see your stats as well. But she says she teeters between 167 and 170 pounds. She's so thrilled. She really hasn't taken her measurements yet, but she can feel such a huge difference in her clothes. And that is so wonderful. And I wanted to congratulate both of these wonderful friends on that. Mary and Andy, you guys are making the most of your journeys, and I'm so proud of you. And I think going forward, what we're going to do for our Sunday Spotlight is I am going to rename the Sunday Spotlight. Hold on, I'm coming back. Here I am. Okay, so let's talk for a second. I turned the heat down for a second so we can just finish up on the Sunday Spotlight. We are going to call it the Spotlight now. And twice a week you're going to see me post. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to post your non-scale victories, your small victories, your large victories, and everything in between. You can post pictures, you can post your stats. Any celebration that you want to drive home is a celebration we want to see. And if you're chosen out of those posts, I will recap that on our Facebook Live recipe demonstration, and if your name is chosen, you will win a Bariatrics and Tips magnet at no charge. There's zero charge. The only thing you have to do is supply me with your home address so I can pop that magnet into the mail for you, and you don't have to worry because I'm not going to keep any personal information. I'm not going to charge you anything. This is seriously all about lifting each other up. Bariatrics and Tips is something that I want to do for my journey and for yours, okay? So get ready to see a post about the Spotlight starting a little bit later, okay? And I really hope that we have a great interactive celebration when these posts are made, because there's a lot of celebrations, a lot of rebirthdays, and just a lot of positive energy that we need to be able to share, okay? So there's your Spotlight. We're going to get back to our Asian chicken lettuce wraps. I've got the meat pretty much done, as you can see. I'm going to show you one more time. It actually looks pretty good as far as how small it is, but I'm a creature of habit, and I like to run this through my food processor. So I'm going to do that quickly, and then I'm going to show you how I do it. You can kind of see the granules. Usually when, like I do ground beef, the granules are a little bit larger. I bought this fresh, so maybe that's why it looks so good. But let me show you my food processor is right over there. All right. Hi, Denise. Glad you made it. No such thing as late. Fashionably late. You're still here, and that's what matters. So I'm going to pour this concoction into my Cuisinart. And again, this is my best practice. I just like the granules to be super small, especially since they're going into a small thing of lettuce. And all I'm going to do is pulse this really quickly. So you can kind of see. Sometimes I count to 7, and sometimes I count to 11 because those are my favorite numbers. All right, cool. I did it. And then I'll put this back in the pot. Let me focus you on that so you can see. The heat is still on, and I'm going to take the blade out there so you can kind of see it's a little bit more fine as far as the meat mixture. I'm gonna make sure I get every last bit out here, okay? So now you can see your ground chicken. It looks phenomenal. What we're gonna do is, so we heated the olive oil over the saucepan. We added our chicken and we cooked to make sure that everything was crumbled and we didn't have to worry about draining excess fat. It was pretty lean. So now we're gonna stir in the rest of the stuff, and I'm gonna go item by item for you. Hold on, I'm bringing it over. So here we go. All right, the first thing that we have is the garlic, and it is 2 cloves, which is about a teaspoon per clove, and I tend to use a heaping teaspoon because I love garlic, okay? Then we're gonna do the onion, which I have to get. The recipe calls for 1 diced onion, and I used a half of an onion because this onion was like, I don't know, the size of a grapefruit. It was huge. So I just used a little bit. I'll save the rest for later. So there's the onion. The hoisin sauce, that's a 1/4 cup, and that's right here. And of course, it's gonna stick to the cup. I could have sprayed some cooking spray in there. Okay. So, okay, don't judge using my finger because I'm eating this and that's okay. Yes, I am licking my finger too, but now I just washed my hands. All right, you guys, you're learning all my secrets, okay? We've got the rice wine vinegar, which is a tablespoon. I love rice wine vinegar. It's so crisp. So there's my rice wine vinegar. And then we need a tablespoon of freshly grated ginger. Here's my ginger. I actually keep my fresh ginger in the freezer in a Ziploc bag, and I grate it when I need it, and it instantly thaws and it stays fresh that way. It is a trick that I learned, and it works so wonderfully because if you keep it in the refrigerator, it'll get moldy and it's gross. So that was a really great win for me. And then the chili paste and the sriracha. You can have both. And then the water chestnuts, remember, I'm using pulverized mushrooms. These are baby Bella mushrooms in place of my water chestnuts, okay? And then I've got sriracha. This is a 1/2 tablespoon. So I'm gonna use a 1/2 heaping tablespoon. And then I'm gonna go for my chili paste, and I'm gonna use another, okay? And you know, when I taste it, if I want it a little bit hotter, then I'll add a little bit more. No problem whatsoever. And then we are going to hold off putting in the green onion. Oh, and we need the soy sauce. Duh, here we go. This is 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I use the low sodium soy sauce. So we're gonna mix this whole thing together, and it's looking super good. And my kitchen smells so good right now. It's extremely fragrant. I can smell the garlic. I can smell the soy sauce. The ginger is just delightful. And I'm told that this resembles P.F. Chang's, but has anyone been to P.F. Chang's for lettuce wraps? Tell me if you have. All right, you haven't yet, but all right, so let's turn up the heat a little. I am going to take a tiny little taste of this because the spice level is intriguing to me. Oh, you guys. It's amazing, but I'm gonna add a little bit more sriracha. This is where you become your own master chef, and you can put whatever you want in your own concoction, okay? So there we are. So then we are going to add salt and pepper to taste, and since I did taste it, I guess I'm not so much concerned about the pepper as I am the salt. It could use a little hint of salt. So let's go do that right now. And we are going to stir in the green onions. And then once we do that, everything should be ready. Green onion adds some really great flavor too. I think it's a mild onion, but it also is gonna add that wonderful splash of color that's just so beautiful. And I don't like to cook, I like to add the green onion or any green like leafy vegetable, like even basil when I'm cooking with basil. Do it right at the end because you don't want it to wilt and you want it to maintain its bright green color. Okay, so I'm gonna do that and I'm gonna bring this back to my countertop, and then I think that I'm ready to move you guys back where you started, and then we can use the countertop to do our presentation. So first I just want to keep you on that. How does that look, you guys? Does that look lovely or what? It looks fantastic to me. All right, and so I'm gonna get my plate ready for you. All right, I am gonna bring this on over. Yes, I'm gonna turn off the stove. And then I am gonna say hi for a second. Hold on. Hello. All right, I'm moving you back. You're coming back through my kitchen. One of these days, I'll have someone that could actually man the camera for me. Wouldn't that be lovely? All right. Woo. All right. Can you see everything? Okay. All right, so that looks good. I am going to come back around, and then once I have all this set up, I'll come a little bit closer and show you the finished deal, okay? Actually, I could probably just move this a little bit closer now and then show you. So we've got our lettuce wraps. This makes a lot. You know, you can always just make, if you're just making for yourself, you can split the pound of chicken up into 2 half pounds, and then you can just freeze one for a rainy day, okay? So what you want to do, I'm going to come around. Hello. Thanks, Denise. You're always so kind with your words. I'm going to take my butter lettuce or any lettuce. Romaine would be really good, and you could do iceberg as well, okay? So there we go. Let's see. So you want to spoon a little bit in, and then you're just going to roll it up like a burrito or a taco, and you're going to feast on it. Now, I have to say this is the part I'm really nervous about because I'm about to wolf this down in front of you guys. But you can see right here, you can see, well, you really can't see it in there. But, you know, really, essentially, you're just using the lettuce as the vehicle with which to shovel food. So here we go. Well, it's hotter than heck, and I don't mean spicy, I mean temperature. It is so delicious. The ginger's really good. The sriracha is perfect. It is really very flavorful. And that's the point I'm trying to drive home, is that you can make a really low-cal, high-protein, keto-friendly, low-fat, low-carb meal, call it what you will, and you can end up feeling completely and utterly satisfied. It doesn't have to break the bank with regards to fat grams or carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. They can be really good for you. They're really good for energy, especially when you're working out and maintaining that active lifestyle. But this is just a great snack, a great meal, a great portable meal. You could take it to work. I work from home tomorrow, but I'll be eating these as well. And so I'm really, really happy that I could share this with you today because, again, all these different ways of cooking and living large and cooking and eating small and finding flavor, such a huge, critical part of our journey. You don't have to be stuck in neutral and just dependent on protein shakes and protein bars. Those are great things to take on the go, but they don't have to monopolize your diet. You can find ways to live large and eat and cook small. And that's what I showed you today. So I hope you like it. Let's have another bite. Seriously, delicious. Denise, if you try them this week, I want you to post a picture. I want you to tell us what you think. And I really would like to know how many of you have tried some of these recipes. Some of these recipes are new to me. Some of them I've been making for years. But it's just such a great way. The more variety and the more flavor, the better. Okay? So that being said, let's talk about what we have coming up, because there's a lot of good stuff. Next week on October 24th, we're going to do apples and cinnamon. I've got an amazing, bariatric friendly, low carb, high protein apple cobbler that is going to send your taste buds straight to heaven. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. So that is October 24th. October 31st on Halloween, we're going to do some jalapeno cheese fritters. That's going to be amazing, because if you're getting ready to take kids trick-or-treating, this is going to be a quick and easy thing that you can make. November 7th, pumpkin ricotta protein pie, just in time for Thanksgiving. November 14th, pumpkin spice. I haven't finalized the menu yet, but trust me, you're going to love it. And then November 21st, spaghetti squash pizza cups. And November 28th, sweet potato protein pancakes. Oh, yes, please. I'm so excited. December 5th, spinach frittata. December 12th, chocolate almond walnut protein brownies. That'd be a great snack for you guys to take to some sort of family or work-related potluck. That's what I'm going to do. So if any of my work peeps are watching, that's what I'm making. And then December 19th, we are going to end out our 2021 season with one word and one word only. Can you guess? Denise, guess. What word am I going to end this with? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Peppermint. Okay? We are going to celebrate the holidays with a peppermint frenzy. Yeah, woohoo doesn't even begin to describe it, Melissa. Woohoo! Peppermint. So that's what I have for you. If you have any suggestions of any future recipe demonstration topics, I would love to know what you want to see. If you have a recipe that you've loved for years and maybe it just needs a redo, give it to me. I want to try it. I am up for the challenge. I can do this. I can do hard things, I promise you. Okay? Please remember, Bariatrics and Tips is on all social media. So that is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Snapchat, and TikTok, okay? Once again, I'm Michelle Geeson. It has been a pleasure hanging with you on this wonderful Sunday afternoon. It's got blue sky. I can see blue sky outside in Western Michigan, and that is like an amazing triumph, because we have been underwater with rain so much lately. Thanks, Denise. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Beverly. Everybody, I think I saw Tiffany. Thanks, everyone, for joining. You'll be able to see this on my YouTube channel as a replay. Please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you tell everyone who supports you that Bariatrics and Tips is here for them, okay? Thanks so much. Have a great Sunday. Bye. Whoops.